Okay, abusuya be mako abasonko so edeba POG Media so abusuya yembonra yense mu breaking news bi aba latest update no na ya project ato ye screening chain abusuya cocaine ho nsensema NPP amanyoku pese omodanebo NDs no abusuya yenya ntie se one of the top NPP gurus nebi na ya chi no Heathrow Airport London or the cocaine eshen ho opese ko ode free mo ko Canada ebusuya mama ye ready the ewo no George Quartin Adenta has been caught with cocaine at Heathrow Airport in London en route to Canada ebusuya we ne ensema ekoso ewo political highway ne so na no NHS ya project ato ye screening channel na George Quartin Adenta no one of the top NPP MPs nibia sisi ano yenya info say ya arrest no HSE ewo Heathrow Airport in London HSE odi cocaine ko pese odi free ho e de ko Canada enye asem keto akra ntina busuya we ni breaking news a yede bremo no ya beda masese mo je pene babeti sa breaking we ede emaye POG Media so any political trending stories are ekosubi an yen so ya jatum say yede bebrem beda masese
the media briefing on the NSB case and the NSS case. He said, "Oh, the accused for these two, especially the NSB, they can cut a deal and then return whatever they took and then they can walk." And I sat here that evening, hot news, and I said, "No, I disagree," because you see, whilst he was talking, I went into the system. And then I try to find out from China and other countries how they treat corruption. In China, there is death sentence. In China. And then somewhere last week, I came here on Hot News. I made reference to a video I saw. When I went home, I tried to verify the video and it was true. Their central bank, the former governor of the Central Bank of China, embezzled just $3 million United States dollars. She was sentenced to to death. Because you see, corruption or public corruption is not, it has a lot of a serious domino effect. One of them is what I mentioned. If you steal some resources, it deprives people of the benefit because the resources is there for the state, and we have a lot of competing needs. Roads are needed, rails are needed, we need good water, good health systems, we need good educational infrastructure, and even give scholarship to the poor but the needy. Free SHS, they introduce, which is a good policy, and I commend them, just that I disagree with the procedure they use. However, it is a good policy, you can't dispute that. It is suffering now as a country, we are even struggling to even make it better and quality. So, if you look at the monies that have been, and I don't care which time it occurred, you understand. In fact, one of the reasons Addo got a goodwill from the people of Ghana in 2016 was that when he was, look, Addo was somebody, if he did not become a president, Ghanaians would have actually pinched themselves and said that we have regretted not making it because we didn't know who he was. He got a goodwill from the people of Ghana in the year 2016 and won massively because we all felt that he is a no-nonsense type. Because if you look at his demeanor, we feel like he's that kind of a ruthless person, and he's also a lawyer. He'll be able to fight corruption and what have you. But under his tenure, it was worse. And that is the disadvantage, that is the disappointment, I beg your pardon. That Ghanaians feel that my brother on the other side, they don't actually, my brothers on the other side actually don't understand. You understand? So, as for me, this issue of return and walk free, like he said, somebody can actually take the resources, go and invest in a particular country. There are oil blocks and what have you. In fact, I was privileged to receive some document or some investment some of the past administration members are doing in Guyana and all of that. I think this thing is going off. You understand? And when the investment succeed, they can pay off whatever they took. You understand? And then they have gotten cheap, illegal capital to start a business elsewhere, and they become rich for the rest of their lives. This is a transgenerational illegal what kind of wealth that they have actually created for themselves. So it's not about just recovering whatever has been taken. Whatever has been taken should be recovered, coupled with benefit that came out of whatever they took, and then also a long-term sentence. Because I keep telling people that these corrupt officials, they are lucky to find themselves in countries like Ghana. If they were to find themselves in a country like China, they would have been buried by now. And then worms and things would have eaten their flesh. So please, I think as a state we need to be very serious about the way we fight corruption. And this issue of playing football, I can hear the minority leader saying, let us not do NPP, NDC, let's come together. We shall get to the electricity company. I think it's our next topic.
Yeah.
So please, I think on a larger note, I agree with him. But few occasions, as politician as he was trying to trivialize some of the issues.
It's inevitable.
Yeah. So
the politics, comes in.
No. You see, he started good by saying that he doesn't, he started good by condemning the whole thing outrightly.
Yeah.
But in the middle of his submission, he tried to cite examples.
I should have cited.
No, being biased towards NDC.
No,
but even
towards the
NPP. You should have also cited some towards NPP. At least when this government came, there are some sort of revelations you are privy to. And even under President Akuffo. Even under President Akuffo, which we thought that late President Mills would have prosecuted.
I just gave one example.
No, you can't give that one example. You mentioned a lot. You mentioned Okuni. You mentioned Vamawo. You mentioned this housing project. What is his name? Collins Dowda, and all of that. So you cannot tell me that out of these three, at least none of them was even in your domain.
Let me also mention the NPP ones.
Oh, there's none.
There is none, really.
The electricity company of Ghana. The electricity company of, we are going to discuss it right now.
I'm talking about.
So
the NSD, the $7 million kind of scandal.
What scandal?
Oh, you have not heard.
So you are not privy to what's going on.
My brother, you see, I don't like the kind of politics you people do in this country. Be balanced in your submission.
The person was even doing the press. The press conference.
The NSS issue. You don't know about it.
For the NSS, you see.
No, you are saying that there is none in your administration.
The NSS, what has happened?
The ghost names.
Oh,
the 81,000, relax, 81,865 ghost names.
They are still.
The matter is in court.
What is in court?
And you are saying that
what is in court? No, they are not yet in court.
They are under investigation.
They are under investigation. They are under investigation. It's not yet in court. But the point of the matter is that.
The matter is in court.
Which one is
the NSS issue?
I've seen, I
think it's Edu Buahin's issue that is currently in court.
The Edu Buahin issue at the time the Minister of Justice, Attorney General was talking.
Yeah.
I mean, the matter was not even in court.
Yeah, it wasn't at the time.
Meanwhile, he had pronounced judgment.
What judgment did he pronounce?
He even said that he will be incarcerated.
Yes, that is if he was.
Because the man, listen, the man came. You see, that is the problem. That is the problem. No, I was making my submission. No, I have not finished. She has to tell me. She has.
So this is still the newspaper review segment on the Good Morning Africa show. Our conversations keep getting interesting, very insightful. The varied opinions actually keep us, going. And did you want to make final submissions on the corruption issue? Any of you?
I think we agree on one principle.
You agree to disagree. Okay, then let's move on.
I think we agree on one point, except that he was being too partisan.
On the text. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows.
Let's agree to disagree. Let's agree to disagree.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
On the texter matter, everybody knows. Me, I'm a politician.
Yeah.
I'm partisan. But you see, when I'm discussing issues, I'm always unbiased. And I'm saying that even within our NPP platform, we normally bring some of these things there.
Yeah.
That if you are given an appointment and you go there and fluff, you go there and misbehave, don't come and hide behind the party. Go and face your cross. And that is internal way of ensuring that people adhere to the rules. But I am saying that there was somebody who said that, oh, your mama was exonerated and all this. So you should go and read the Strike report.
So let me the Strike report.
No, let me finish. Let me finish. I'm saying something. Why are you going?
You go ahead. Go ahead.
The Strike report was not just one issue.
Okay.
It deals with corruption. It deals with conflict of interest. It deals with whether or not your mama flouted his own code of conduct. It was this conflict of interest and corruption
but your
that he was exonerated.
On the Ford expedition.
Yeah, that he was exonerated.
What's the name of the car, the vehicle? Is it Ford expedition?
Ford expedition.
So he was exonerated on those matters of conflict of interest and corruption and those.
But for the Ford,
but Siraj ended up by indicting him by saying that he flouted on his own code of conduct that he published to his
public
government
officials.
appointees. That's the point I was making.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Saka.
Yes, on that score, I think he was right.
Yeah.
In terms of the gift policy outlined in the code of conduct, Shraj actually gave a verdict that President Mahama breached that.
Yes.
But in terms of absence of conflict of interest, he was actually
exonerated. Right. Then we are on the same. So when
Texas text.
It's okay. We're on the same.
It's not only on that one. You were too partisan this morning.
Oh no, I'm not.
Saka is always.
No, I'm not.
Are you a rightist or a leftist?
Oh, I'm righteous.
Okay. Saka has always been that, but I've been joined. This one is a graceful, contribution. He's going to sum it all up for us, but I think that will be on our final topic for today. Unfortunately, due to time, we can't touch on the Chief Justice matter. I think it has been.
That's very.
No, we can combine it to the second.
Yeah, let's combine it.
Really, because Saka has sharpened his mouth.
Yes, let's combine it.
Okay, then we'll combine the two. But please promise me. Please promise me that you're going to stick to your time. You're going to stick to your time. Promise me.
What a ring.
Stop playing. All right. So since the quorum has been formed for us to combine the two, we shall do that. The great ECG container heist, a comedy of errors. This is a hypothetical, caption, and I'd like to hear your take on that. But let me use this opportunity to welcome Honorable Stanley Yao Nandaya, who is the MP for Wulensi constituency. Good morning, sir, and welcome.
Good morning. I'm doing great.
How are you? How's it going?
Oh, great.
Great. How's being an
a great
MP
show.
going? Yeah.
Beautiful face.
Thank you.
Good looking.
Thank you.
Yeah. She's good looking. Beautiful. I see the president.
Unfortunately, we don't have much time, but I will just, Since you just came, I'm just going to give you the opportunity, because Saka and Doc House, they have had their time.
I thought he would rest a little bit.
The last two topics.
No, because he doesn't have time, but you will know how to manage it. So I'll give him here. So I'll give him just a few minutes. Yes.
You go again.
No, he won't go again. That'll be his only take, unfortunately, due to time. So, Honorable, we are talking about the ECG container heist, and it has been captioned as a comedy of errors in terms of corruption activities that have plagued, some of our public sector. When it comes to corruption, you can trace it in dominance to the area of procurement.
That's true.
And that is what we are seeing in the ECG arena. And we are combining that topic with the removal of the Chief Justice in Ghana, a comprehensive analysis. Basically, what your thoughts are.
Thank you for this opportunity, and our listeners and those watching us. I would stand on this point when it comes to ECG. Before any product moves into another country, there's a producer, and the producer has records. as to who is procuring such goods. Now, ECG as a company should be looked at representing this country in terms of power. And I don't think such a big company like ECG should not have a clearing department. And that is where we should find out. It is simple to get it, that who ordered what, and at what time was it expected, what was it for, what was the urgency around it. Those are the things we need to look at. So I don't think we should have a problem tracing some of these things. It's just some gimmicks, excuse me to use my language, that we try to involve and bring in politics in. No, this is devoid of politics. We should look at it as a national issue. What is the image on this country regarding this? If we can have even 2 containers missing, and they have come to this country and missing, then we should be able to ask ourselves questions that what could have, allowed the system to have these things. And even before a container moves from the port, there should be records. Somebody is in charge of the unit of where containers have to be moved. So some of these things, I don't see it to be a problem if they want to trace them. Yeah. And I don't want to talk about it much because I see it as some level of politics that is actually revolving around it. Otherwise, I don't see it a problem.
So you think the answers to, the razzmatazz is just right before us?
Oh yes, it's before us. We don't need to reinvent the wheels tracing some of these things. We have the system in place where something was ordered. Who ordered them? When it came, did the person follow up to know whether the things I've ordered have come? And if they have come, what would have make you to stay and allow those things to be at the port? And what would have been the reason? Was it that we couldn't pay for it? The company couldn't pay for it? And what was, even if demurrage should be on such containers, I think we could be talking about the cost, how to get money to go and pay for and take them. Because we know the cost of demurrage is not unto the nation, but for where the goods are coming from. The containers that are used for such goods, the charges on the usage of those containers, and those are the issues. But if it has to be that both the items we paid for and the containers are missing, then there should be a big question. I'm surprised.
Because that also brings the question of the functionality of this system you speak of. In terms, the system that determines who is responsible for what, where this went at this time, and so on and so forth. That will. I think it raises a question around that.
It's a systemic problem for this country. The only problem we face is not about the knowledge we don't have. No. It's not about the technocrats and people who know how to do things that we don't have. We have them. But the system is the problem. If not, how can I sit, even on your phone, if you use your phone to do an order and you type, it goes to the supplier. He sends the things to you directly. What you use the thing for is between you and yourself. Is that also?
Right.
And now, they send to us. We ordered, they sent to us. They didn't send empty containers. They sent with the things we've ordered. Now, the things have arrived. And I'm using it. Whichever way I use it, it is my problem. So it means that the usage of it from the port to the company is the system that we need to use to trace. And that is all. Who ordered it? How did it? What was the need for the ordering? You see, some time ago, we were told that we need to pay more because they needed some components to fix the light or to fix power. Then we paid more. So what would make us pay more? And they use that more money to order for those items, and the items are not used. Who lease what?
Right. We get your take on that. But let's move to the CJ issue.
Oh, the CJ issue. You see, this issue, people should not read political lines into this. It's about time, as a nation, we take the bull by the horns. If you see CJ, I think probably his age, her age, sorry, it's about 62 years. And we know she's in her retiring age, or past the retiring age. Is that not so? Yes, we know wisdom lies in the heads of sometime the grown-ups. A system that somebody believes can work, if it comes with a whole set of resetting and setups that we need to put in place. So if people, a section of the Ghanaian people say that no, we need to change this leadership for something better to happen, whatever reason I think they have, yes, it could be justified.
Okay, abusuya we ne ensema ekoso ewo political highway ne so eye NPP nkofo ni bi na echese ya chino ewo Canada ewo eye UK airport abusuya yenso ye desa update we ede abremu no aha eye POG Media so any political trending stories make waves biano yenso ya je atum se ye de bebremu medamase.